give a warning to my kids tonight after we get back, after my wife and daughter get back from the baby shower. We're going to be using that tonight, so my children, just be ready. We're going to be doing that devotion tonight. I would encourage all of you parents, you've got the kids, and sometimes you wonder, gosh, I don't have enough ideas. Well, Thane is taking care of you for the next 3 weeks at least. And if you don't have kids, why not try it anyway? You might enjoy it. So take those, get them from her, and use them. Yes, we are finally starting our Advent. I know we're a week behind. We have 2 candles up there lit, but I'm only doing my first one. And I will tell you it is because I am not a real big fan of Christmas. And here is one reason why. I see that picture. I went on, I was thinking about the sermon title, The Busyness of Life. And I was asking myself, oh, how do you show that? This, I went on Bing, and I typed in Black Friday Walmart. And this is probably like one of the tame ones that I saw. Yeah, Black Friday. I know the retailers call it Black Friday because it's the day that they're supposed to finally move into the black, and they're supposed to, the rest of the year is supposed to be profit. I think Black Friday really should have that name because people are black and blue after you go shopping on Black Friday. For the first time in, my wife's probably going to go ever, she just said that, I actually went shopping on Black Friday. Now, it was not because of my wife, because my wife is a wonderful lady and does not make me go on Christmas shopping. Fortunately for my children, my wife does almost all of the Christmas shopping. I say fortunately because if it was up to me, my kids would get pretty lousy gifts. Not because I don't love them, I just hate malls. I hate stores. Well, but we were back in Texas with my family, and my mom, she did not invite me to go shopping with her on Black Friday. My mom just said, we're going Christmas shopping tomorrow. And I said, but? And she said, we're going shopping tomorrow. And my mom has that way. She can just command attention, and she tells you something, and people just don't tend to argue with my mom. So much so that my dad, his first date with her, they went to a rodeo, and she looks at him when he gets to the bull riding, and she says, you don't do that, do you? And he said, yes. And she says, let me rephrase that. You don't do that. My dad never rode bulls again. So, wonder why I went shopping on Black Friday? I will tell you, it was everything I imagined it to be, which means I will not be going Christmas shopping on Black Friday next year, unless we happen to be back in Texas and my mom says, you're going, because I love my wife and she does not make me go. God bless you. Thank you. Crowds, busyness, the hustle, the bustle of Christmas can get you down. It does me. I am a little bit, I hate to admit it, but I am a little bit of a Scrooge when it comes to Christmas. All of that, well, you got to make sure you get the right gift. You got to make sure you make it to the right parties. And you got to make sure that you have all of the right decorations up. You go by my house, we don't have the right decorations up outside. Not because of my wife, but again, my wife is a blessed woman and does not force me to put up those lights. We have some friends that, I laugh because we go by their house and I go, look, it's the Griswolds. Okay, you haven't seen that movie. You haven't seen that movie. You probably shouldn't watch it. Okay, I'm going to go right out from there. I just don't like it. I don't like all the rushing around that we do for Christmas. The busyness of Christmas. At a time that is supposed to be all about peace. The problem is, as I get older, as my children get older, the busyness of life doesn't slow down during the non-holiday time of the year. It just increases a little more when you get to the holiday season. I looked at my schedule trying to put together a meeting, and I looked at my schedule and I was like, okay, well, we can't do it that night. Can't do it that night. Can't do it that night. And I was looking through it and I was like, okay, looks like we've got like 2 nights out of the week that we could actually have this meeting. Our life just gets busier. It gets crazier. We're running more and more, taking kids to activities and doing this and doing that, and making sure that we get to the right holiday party. And there's days that you look and you go, you've got 2 or 3 holiday parties and you're trying to figure out, okay, if we went to this one for an hour, then we could hustle over, we could go to this other one for an hour, and then we could run from there and go to this other one for an hour. And pretty soon you're just like, why? It's easy to become focused on keeping up our schedule and lose any hope of finding peace that Christmas is supposed to be about. Now, hopefully you are not as much of a Christmas curmudgeon as I am. But I will make a guess that your schedules are about as full as mine. But do you sometimes just feel like you live in a land of darkness? Right now, this time of year, it's easy for us living here in Northwest Washington to really feel like we live in a land of darkness. Our nights grow longer. Our days grow shorter. If you work in an office building without windows, it is very possible that you do not see the sun from Monday to Friday. Because you go to work before the sun comes up, and you leave work after the sun comes down, and if you don't step outside for lunch in the middle of the day, it is very possible for you to go an entire week without seeing the sun. And we just get depressed. And then we add to that all of the schedule and all the presents buying and all of those things, and life can just get dreary. It's probably even more acute this year for some of you because of the continuing down economy. Your wages, most likely, have stayed flat at best compared to the standard, to the cost of living. People are worried about their jobs. They're worried about the future of the economy. They're worried about the future of the country. In light of all these concerns, where's our hope for light? Where's our hope for peace? Where's our hope to get out of the rat race? Where's our hope to be able to step back from everything and experience this peace that we sing about today? To experience this peace that we all want to have. Where's our hope? Well, the prophet Isaiah spoke to a people that were dealing with darkness and despair. We're going to read Isaiah chapter 9. And I want us to consider the answer to our frustration with life, our frustration with darkness, our frustration with busyness. Isaiah chapter 9. Nevertheless, the gloom of the distressed land will not be like that of the former times, when he humbled the land of Zebulun and Naphtali. But in the future he will bring honor to the way of the sea, to the land east of the Jordan, and to Galilee of the nations. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of darkness, a light has dawned. You have enlarged the nation and increased its joy. The people have rejoiced before you as they rejoice at harvest times and as they rejoice when dividing spoils. For you have shattered their burdensome yoke and the rod on their shoulders, the staff of their oppressor, just as you did on the day of Midian. For the trampling boot of battle and the bloody garments of war will be burned as fuel for the fire. For a child will be born to us, a son will be given to us, and the government will be on his shoulders. He will be named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Eternal Father, Prince of Peace. That his dominion will be vast, and his prosperity will never end. He will reign on the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish and sustain it with justice and righteousness from now on and forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will accomplish this. Darkness, darkness all around us. The land Zebulun and Naphtali. I go to that map. I guess the next slide, Alan. The land of Zebulun and Naphtali. Here we go. Right here is Naphtali, and this is Zebulun. Those two lands, they make up kind of the northern tribes, the tribes living in the northernmost region of Israel's land. By the time that Isaiah wrote the words that we read today, those lands had already been conquered by Assyria. There extreme, so there's really, they were the first to experience the devastation of foreign influence. The lands further south had buffer zones that could keep out the foreign influences. But Zebulun and Naphtali, they were right there, and I mean, they were right on the way. Some of the other places there, they're a little further over to the ocean. They had some protection. One of the reasons that Zebulun and Naphtali were so right is that they were on what is called the Way of the Sea, the Via Maris. The Via Maris was a major trade route going down all the way into Egypt. And so the Assyrians, as they were looking, going where are we going to conquer, those are the places they wanted most importantly, because they were trade routes. They were the places that if you had control of them, you controlled almost everything else. And so here are these two lands. No protection. They've been invaded. They've already fallen to the foreign influence. The darkness here, the darkness isn't just that they were dominated by foreign invaders. But it also gives the idea that these lands were spiritually dark. You see, there was a lack of hope for a better future. The people of Zebulun and Naphtali, they looked forward and they said, you know, it's not going to get any better. Our best days are in our past. And there's really, for them, there was really no hope that tomorrow was going to bring a better day. They lived their life. It was just a matter of survival. No hope of a better future. For them, life was just, well, we live, we're born, we grow up, we work, and we die. Sounds like a great time, doesn't it? They really just didn't have this idea that it can get any better. We're just going to survive. There's some times that I feel like that. There's some times that I look around and I wonder if there is any hope for a better tomorrow. There's times that, I ask myself, will I finish my career trying to do good, but never again really seeing God's hand work in a way that I can't explain? Sometimes I ask myself, am I doomed to be just a decent pastor with decent kids, a decent family, a decent church, a decent house, a decent car, a decent life? It's okay. I don't know about you. That's not what I want. I don't want decent kids. I don't want my children to grow up to be decent adults. I want them to grow up to be better. I don't want to pastor a decent church. In the movie Courageous, the main character is talking about him being a dad, but he said these words, I don't want to be good enough. I don't want to be good enough. I don't either. I'm like him. I don't want to be good enough. I don't want to be a good enough pastor. I don't want to be a good enough dad that I have decent children. I don't want to be a good enough husband. In everything I do, I don't want to be good enough. I don't want to be decent. I want to be great. I want to lead a city-changing church. And I want to lead a life-changing family. And I hope that you want the same. And whatever it is that you take on in life, I pray that you look and you say, I don't want to be just good enough. Because if you just want to be decent, quit trying. Or why get up on Sunday morning? If you just want to be decent, why get up on Sunday morning and come sit in here? Because you see, it really doesn't take a whole lot of